Okay, take three. They've sabotaged me twice so far. My goodness. I guess people will give it a minute for people to come back in here. Uh, it is screwed with my thing twice now. Like I said, apparently they don't want me to talk about Walmart. So, well, I got one person in the chat so far. We'll give it a minute. We'll get some people in here. Unbelievable. Third time's a charm. Let's hope so, Stace. Unreal. This has not happened before, other than when Heather was trying to upload a video. So I don't know what that's all about. Apparently, they do not want me to talk about Walmart. Ay, ay, ay. This is crazy. So we'll give it a minute for some people to jump in here. But again, so we'll start all over again with the normal things that I say, and we'll go from there. We'll see if this one holds this time. Again, I just wanted to say that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel, so no racism. Please keep the comments decent. So, did you hear that San Francisco just declared the NRA a domestic terrorist organization? I did hear that, and we're going to talk about that in this chat as well, which is absolutely ridiculous. Where San Francisco is a freaking cesspool, and we're going to get into San Francisco too, trust me. But anyway, so we are going to try again and see what happens. Go kick them solar panels. It's had nothing to do with the solar panels. I think I'm being booted out because they don't want me talking about Walmart, apparently. Absolutely crazy. This is the third time trying to get back in here to get this going for you guys. So anyway, again, any questions after I'm done talking, please all cap lock so it stands out for me. And then hopefully we'll get this thing going, and I don't get stopped again here. Absolutely nuts. I don't know what was going on here, but anyway, so we're going to start again, because what I'm going to do is I'll go back in and I'll delete the other two streams once this one is over. So I will say it again. I just want to my hats off and thank you to Walmart for helping out the small businessman. It's absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. And so it just so I wrote a couple things down that I wanted to make sure that I hit this. Okay, so they came out with their thing, so they're going to stop selling handguns. So first of all, handgun and short barrel rifle ammo. That was the first thing that they said. Okay, and they're requesting that shoppers that in open carry states do not open carry in their stores. That's what they're requesting. So in other words, if you walked into their store and you were open carrying because you were allowed to in that state, they can ask you to leave because it's private property, and they can ask you to leave. Now, after the different incidents that have happened recently, and one of them obviously was at that Walmart down in Texas, you would think that it would be just the opposite, that they would be encouraging people to open carry. You would think that they would be encouraging people to do that for their own protection, but unfortunately, it's not the case. So it's just absolutely crazy. But then also, Walmart decided. Now, back in the 90s, they stopped selling handguns in all the states except for Alaska, and now they've decided they're not going to sell handguns in Alaska anymore either. Okay. But they're going to stop selling like 223 round ammunition and 5.6 caliber ammo, which can be used for semi-automatic weapons. Now, I'm not going to call them assault weapons because they're not assault weapons. So I'm going to be very, very clear on that. So I'm not going to say that that's what they are, because that's what they're calling them. But they're not. An assault weapon is an automatic weapon. These are semi-auto. So anyway, but the reality is that Walmart only accounts for 2% of all gun sales in the country, realistically. As big as Walmart is, most of the gun sales don't even go through. They also are not selling 7.62 in all handgun ammo too. Yep, I saw that too. Yep. So they're getting whatever inventory that they have left, they're going to get rid of it, and they're not going to replace it. So, but realistically, they count for 2% of the gun sales. I think it's ridiculous. So let's do a scenario. Okay, let's talk about a scenario and do a comparison. And this is what I think that Walmart should really be focusing on. Okay, so let's do a scenario here. Drunk drivers last year killed over 10,000 people. Last year, only 414 people, I think is the number, were killed by rifles last year. Okay, So I think what Walmart, in all good conscience, should do is stop selling auto parts altogether, okay? Because obviously cars are very, very dangerous tools. Like, so they need to stop selling auto parts because, they're just encouraging drunk drivers to go out there and kill people in their cars. When you do the comparison, and I'm being very, very sarcastic, guys, when I say that, but it just shows you how ridiculous this is when, who is anybody to tell somebody else what they should do and what they should not do? Number one, it is in our Constitution the right to bear arms. And now you have these companies and all these, and let's remember something. And I watched a video recently, and it was really, really struck home to me. And it was in Australia. And when they were doing the gun ban there in Australia after that one mass shooting. And they took away all these people's weapons, okay? And the one guy said, and this really, really struck home with me. He said, we'll talk about, exactly. They need to stop selling beer and liquor as well. You're right, Ozark Prepper One. Absolutely. They need to stop selling alcohol as well because that leads to drunk drivers as well. So anyway, but they lost my train of thought here, guys. Hold on one second. Oh my God, where did it go? What was I? Okay, so I was talking about. Oh, so with Walmart, they're basically trying to dictate what people can and cannot do, and that's not right. That's just, there's other options, obviously, but these people, they're all. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about Australia. I'm sorry, and I'm getting back on track. So anyway, so in Australia, they were talking about, well, we didn't think that it was going to be possible. We didn't think it was going to happen, so we didn't do anything. Okay, these were different gun owners, and they had their weapons all taken away, and they got hamstrung. The only thing you ever see come out of gun confiscation, guys, and gun control is tyrannical governments over and over and over again hurting the people, okay? That's the only thing you're going to ever see come out of that. So when you have companies like Walmart, and then you just had Kroger's also just said they don't want people to open carry in their stores. I'm sorry, they need to realize that we need to be able to defend ourselves. So, if I was going to go into the store, I would obviously conceal carry. I'm not going to advertise anyway what I have. But, gun stores are smiling. Exactly. Citizen Soldier just said. Exactly. And like I said, hats off to Walmart for helping out the small businessman. Because, people will have to go to gun stores to get their ammunition and stuff like that now, which is fine. If you are prepared, you won't have to worry about purchasing ammo and weapons. JJ Biggs just said that. You are correct, JJ. I have always said my rule of thumb, and I've said this, I've done this in other videos. For every weapon that you have, you need to have a minimum, notice how I say that, of 2,000 rounds per weapon, okay? Because when the time comes, you're going to have what you have. Be it these lunatics get their way and try to do some kind of major gun overhaul thing, or something like that, or something happens to the country, then we're going to have a way to be able to defend ourselves, and that's what we need to be able to do. It is our right. It is in our Constitution. And who are these people? And here's my thing: if you don't like guns, don't forget all the spare parts for your guns as well. Law and Order Prepper just said that. Very good point. Thank you for making sure you said that. But who is anybody to tell anybody else in this country, in America, what you can and cannot do as far as like when it comes to owning a gun? If you don't want to own a gun, don't own a gun. That's the way I feel about it. If you don't like guns, that's great. Don't own one, because all you are is a victim. I am not going to be a victim. I'm telling you that right now. That's just the way it is. I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend the ones that I love, and and that's the way it's going to be. And I think it's ridiculous the way things have gone with these people. And they're all, and it's all grandstanding and it's all propaganda. Because realistically, here's something to think about. The estimate is The estimate is there's 350 million guns in this country, which means there's more guns in this country than there are people. Okay, so if guns were the issue, realistically, if guns were the issue, we would all be dead by now anyway. I'm going to bring up a couple of points here, and I was thinking about these things while we were doing when I was getting ready for this video. And guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would definitely appreciate that. I said we got almost 400 people watching and only 74 thumbs up, so that's a problem. Come on, I'm just messing around, guys. But anyway, you look back 40 years ago, and we're gonna go before. I think it was Whitman went into the tower. I think it was in the 1960s he did that in Texas and shot all those people. But he even said, please test my brain. I think there's something wrong with it. And they did, and they found out that there was something wrong with his brain. Okay, but you look at the last 30 years when this rash of gun violence really has taken off, okay? And it directly, yeah, he had a brain tumor. Kevin H. just said that, yep. And it directly correlates with a lack of discipline in the home by parents of their children. I'm telling you what, the correlation is there, guys. There's, in the Bible, spare the rod, spoil the child. I mean, it says it right in the Bible too. I mean, so if you're a Bible believer, hopefully you believe in discipline. Children need guidance. They don't need to have the reins wide open and the doors opened up and go have at it and do whatever you want. It doesn't work that way. So, when you have that lack of discipline in the home, well, and it correlates right along with, if you go back to the 60s, when welfare was enacted and they got all the fathers out of the homes, okay? And look what's happened to the inner cities since that point in time. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous what has happened. They get the fathers out of the house and, then mom's in charge and, and then you have complete anarchy. And that's what has happened. And I honestly believe that it's been done on purpose. I absolutely believe it has been. Let's put it like this. Okay, you go into suburbia, all right? And I'm going to give you a great example of how things are. You go into suburbia, and you're going to have a liquor store here or there and that type of place. You go into the city, and there's a liquor store all over the place, okay? There is payday loans offices all over the place. There's pawn shops all over the place. That is all done for a reason, okay? And, and it's done on purpose, and it's a shame. It really, truly is. We need to get the family stability back. That's where it comes down to. If you have that family core, that family unit, and people have respect and, for each other and for everybody else, people would act a lot differently. I mean, like I said, I can remember being in high school and people having their gun rack in the back of their car. You know what I'm saying? So they had their gun racks right in the back of their car or their truck, and they would have that in the parking lot. I mean, you try to do that now, you're going to be arrested and you're going to go to jail. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm going to tell you what, I'll tell you a quick story here. When I was in 7th grade, and I'll even tell you the school, it was Wheatland Chili high school, and we had gotten into a food fight in the cafeteria, and I was right in the middle of it, okay? Well, we had this, I think he was the assistant principal, and everybody called him Rockman because he had like a fake knee. He was in the Korean War, and so he had this fake knee, and so he would kind of wobble when he walked or whatever because of that knee, and so everybody called him Rockman. And, well, he was no joke. I mean, he was no joke. So he took me into the office. And, I was such a bad kid. I'm telling you guys, I was a really, really bad kid. I would have kicked my butt if I had been a teacher. But anyway, what he did was he grabbed me by the hair on the top of my head, and he pulled my head down. Well, what he didn't realize was my sister used to pull my hair all the time. So pulling my hair didn't bother me. So what I did is I forced my head back up, and I looked at him right in the eyes. Well, then he grabbed me with the other hand, and he pulled my head down again, okay? He was exerting dominance is basically what he was doing. And you're a snotty kid, basically. And so when, and that's, and I tried to pull up the second time and I couldn't because he was just too strong. And I was, in 7th grade. So how big was I? But I remember afterwards, the whole top of my scalp was raised up. I could feel it raised up because he had pulled my hair so hard. But I'm going to tell you what, I was guilty. I was bad, and I deserved it. I didn't go home and cry to mama. I didn't go down there and say, "Oh, mommy, he pulled my hair. Please go yell at the office." That's not how we did it back then. You took your medicine, you took your punishment, and you acted like a man. That's what you did. So, yeah, lucky he couldn't do that anymore. You're right, Robert Blakemore. They couldn't get away with it. Now these freaking kids today, they're so spoiled. I mean, they're calling child protective on their own freaking parents. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But what are you going to do? But anyway, so with these things that are going on with Walmart, with Kroger. Okay, then we're going to talk about San Francisco real quick. And somebody had made the comment. I was going to bring that up too. CPS is my best friend. Well, I've had him called on me, as you guys know. Anybody that's watched my channel for any time knows I had CPS called on me twice. And I'm going to tell you right now, the first time when we first moved up here, guarantee 100% it was the ex-wife the first time. If not her directly, somebody in her family called. That was the first one. The second one was a year later, and I know that directly was from a subscriber. Guaranteed 100%. And people say, well, how do they know where you live? Well, believe me, anybody can be found. Anybody, they can find out who you are, where you are, everything. Here's a great example. I had one of the guys that I know, Joe, who said, he goes, "No, Ed, I don't know your address, do I?" And I go, "No." So he sent me a snapshot, Google Earth, of my property. He goes, "There you are." And I'm like, "Yep, there I am." So, I mean, it's that easy, guys. So anybody can find you. But anyway, let's get back to San Francisco. So San Francisco, which is an absolute cesspool. And I can say that because I was out there last year at this time. Last October, I think I was out there doing the motorcycle tour. And so I was out there. I saw what it's like, and it is literally a cesspool. Druggies everywhere, garbage. The drug addiction is just ridiculous. People sleeping outside, begging all over the place. It's absolutely nuts. Okay. But anyway, so now they're going to call the NRA a terrorist organization. Now I'm going to tell you what, basically, who are these freaking people? I mean, you know what I mean? Who are they to say? I mean, the NRA has been around a long time, and the NRA is about supporting our gun rights. Now, even though they've kind of backpedaled on a lot of stuff, they're still there to support our gun rights. I used to be an NRA member, I'll be honest with you, and I was for years and years and years. And I stopped for the simple reason was because every time you turned around, they were asking for more money. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be squeezed, because of fear and stuff like that. I'm just not going to do it. So, AJJ got the green tea going. But so anyway, yeah, it has absolutely gotten ridiculous. The media I want you guys to remember, the media has an agenda that they are given. There was a recent thing, and they showed it, and it was all around the country. And it was all these different news stations, and they were all saying the exact same thing. They were scripted. They were told this is the information that you're going to put out, and that's what they put out, talking about how they're there and they're trying to give a good biased or unbiased opinion, which is total crap. Okay, the news media is so skewed, it is ridiculous. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I definitely would appreciate that. Lately, the NRA is practicing infringement. Yeah, I mean, because they're giving in. They're giving into stuff is what they're doing. But anyway, so the media has this agenda. And so if you spew out the same crap over and over and over and over again, what's going to happen is people are going to start to believe it. Okay? And here's a good example. Like, my eyes are brown. Okay? So if everybody started saying, nope, your eyes aren't brown, they're blue. Okay? And every day people are saying his eyes are blue, his eyes are blue, his eyes are blue. Eventually, people that don't even know me are going to start going, oh yeah, Prepper Nurse 1, his eyes are blue. Because that's what they heard. They keep hearing, they parrot all this crap that they're hearing. So, and think about this, the grooming and the manipulation of our young people in high school, in whatever they're involved in, stuff like that, in college. Okay, you have a lot of liberal thinking people teaching our children, and they're not teaching them what we wanted to teach. You know what I mean? So It's all about media indoctrination. Law and Order Prepper just said that. And you're absolutely right. But again, so they're fed this crap all the time, and they're seeing it in every kind of social media post over and over and over again. And so they just think, oh, that's normal. That's fine. That's the way it is. I believe it. And that's what happens. So they don't research stuff. They're not paying attention to what is going on in those type of things. And it really is making a big, big difference. It really, truly is. It's kind of scary, to be honest with you. Really, really scary. So where should I shop for food? Oh, Mexico love car. I don't even know what he's asking there. Yeah, JJ is just letting everybody know. Please, guys, keep your post family friendly. But so anyway, we need to start again. People need to start thinking for themselves, teaching their children to think for themselves. I always tell my children this: you can believe whatever you want to believe, but do the research. Okay, it's just like a great example. Okay, great example. So I was talking to my daughter, and she's definitely identifying as a Democrat. Okay, and that's her choice. And so I said to her, I go, do you realize that the Democrats were the ones that tried to keep black people down? It was the Republicans that were the ones that were really instrumental in giving black people the right to vote and everything else. She goes, oh, no. The party switched. I go, honey, the parties never switched. They never switched. I said, so you need, and this is what I told her, don't just listen to me. I said, do your research. Yeah, and somebody just said the Democrats were founded by the KKK. Exactly. And guess what? They still treat blacks and minorities that way. All the social programs and stuff like that are not there to help blacks or other people of color rise up. It's to keep them down. And unfortunately for a lot of the Democrats, a lot of people are waking up to the fact that they've been played, that they've been used, that they're being manipulated. And so now they're finally waking up, and they're realizing that they've been manipulated and played all this time. And it's, definitely something to think about. So, but first Republican was Abe Lincoln. Yeah, no, they had like the Whig Party or something like that before then, I think. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, online sales will be targeted next. ICU 812. Well, we'll talk about online sales. So in New York State, I used to be able to, if I wanted to oh my God, there's a great deal on ammo. I could buy ammo and have it shipped here to New York. Can't do that. I haven't been able to do that for years and years. They stopped that in New York a long time ago. So I can't, just as an average citizen, order ammo and have it delivered. Can't do it. So yeah, it's a slow erosion, guys. That's what's happening. Is a slow erosion. It's swaying popular opinion. People are seeing crap in the media, and because gun owners are doing nothing about it, it continues to happen. And then when the time comes, body armor is going to be banned this month. Donald Sinyard just said, or no, I'm sorry, Moab. I missed the rest of his name, but anyway, I didn't hear that the body armor was going to be banned. Like I said, guys, we got to be able to protect ourselves. So do what you got to do, But there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff here's the thing that I find really interesting. So two of the recent, and they call it, it's mass shootings. A lot of people were shot. Were in Texas. And Texas is the freest state that there is as far as gun laws go. And I find it very, very interesting that that's where these latest shootings have been happening. It's all done for a purpose. It's all manipulation. What we need to look at with these shooters, guys, and I've talked about this before, it's not about the weapon. Because like I said, again, you have 10,000 plus people were killed last year from drunk drivers. Do you see Walmart stopping the sale of alcohol? Do you see Walmart stopping the sale of auto parts? So to stop people from fixing those horrible cars that are the cause of all these people dying, we're not going to blame it on the alcoholic. We're not going to blame him because it's not his fault. they need to look at what the issue is. The issue is the individuals, what pharmaceutical medication these people are on. That's what I would really be interested in. How many of these shooters are on pharmaceutical medication? The next question I would have, how many of these shooters are from broken homes? I think that's interesting too. There's a lot going on with this stuff that's happening. It's not about the weapons, guys. It's not about the guns. That is a tool. It is just another way for them to try to garner control over all of us. If we allow ourselves to be disarmed, all we are going to be is victims. We're going to set ourselves up to be victimized because, once again, and I've said this before, criminals do not follow gun laws. Never have, never will. They just won't do it. Okay? So all you're doing is you're punishing the law-abiding citizen. That's all you're doing. Now you're going to make him a criminal because you're banning this, you're banning that for something that he bought legally when he bought it, and now you expect him to give it up. So, it's ridiculous. I wanted to mention while I was thinking about it before we get into too much more here. Today is the last day of my sale on my website, 20% off of everything. So if you're looking to add to your freeze-dried food storage with Legacy Foods, that's all 20% off. If you're looking to get a t-shirt, a coffee mug, or a bumper sticker, those are also 20% off. And that's at preppernurse1.com. So if you are looking to add to your stuff, please do so. Go check me out over there at the website. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you can get notifications. Like, comment, and share. Victims of our own government, Karen Tamure, Thomure. She just said that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Our government is Legacy Foods. Are they MREs? No, they're freeze-dried foods, Happy Elf. They're freeze-dried. They got a 25-year shelf life, and it's freeze-dried foods. It's actually very, very good. I've definitely done several reviews on it. So if you wanted to check out some of my reviews on that, please do so. But I use it. I have it in my own stocks. I keep it for myself as well. So it's a part of my preps. It's, one aspect of it. Believe me, there's a lot more to that than just freeze-dried foods, but freeze-dried food should definitely be part of your preps. So, Adderall is one molecule from crystal meth. They're giving that to kids. Yeah, I know they are. That's the whole thing too. And I love it when they're saying, instead of a kid, the kid, he's instead of hyperactive and whatever, they're like, oh, well, he's got this issue, so we got to give him a pill. They wanted to do that with my son. Okay. My son, when he was in school, there was issues with him in school, and I didn't have those issues at home. And so they were like, oh, well, he needs to be on medication. I'm like, absolutely not. My son will never be on medication. Not ever going to happen. I'm not going to do it. And so they had to relent because there's nothing they could do because I wouldn't play that game. But you're not going to dope my kid up, make him a zombie so he can be compliant and complacent for you in school. I wasn't doing it. So anyway, so I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that I got in the mail real quick because I got these. A couple of them I just picked up yesterday, but the other one here, I wanted to show you this. Hot Rod Dave, who was at the Prepper get-together, he said he couldn't send me a beer in the mail, but he sent this instead. It's Beer World, so something for me to drink my beer in. So thank you very much for that, Hot Rod Dave. I appreciate that. I got that a couple days ago. I got this here. I wanted to show you this. I'm going to be doing a review on this. Company sent me these. This is safety equipment valve with valve. That is the respirator. Okay, and then a first aid kit. So I'm going to be doing a review on those two things, just so you know. And but those just came, and then I also got in the mail, and I wanted to show you this. This is from Susie Lee and Andy Armagost. I hope I said your guy's name right. Armagost. Yeah, Armagost. It's got to be right if it's phonetically. But so they have kitchen staples, 10 ingredients or less, homestead pantry. Okay, so they sent me a nice letter, and they asked me to do a review on this book. But I'm going to tell, and I think that, let me see where they said it's available. It is available on Amazon and an ebook or a soft copy. So I'm going to just show you that real quick so you guys can see that. Okay. And I will be doing a review on this. I'm going to check out a couple of these different things, but it's got all the different ingredients and stuff like that. So with 10 ingredients or less, and like cocktail sauce, she's got in here 1 cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of horseradish, mix and serve cold. So, it's got a bunch of different stuff, and there's like breads in here, different ways to make breads, and a lot of different ways to make breads, different seasonings, baking. So I'm going to go over this, guys, but they sent me that out, and thank you guys so much for that. I do appreciate that, and I will be doing a review on that. I'm going to make a couple things out of it, and I'm going to see how it goes, and I will definitely do a review on that, and I'll share more of that information when we do that. So, all right, let's see. Let's see. But anyway, so, this whole situation that keeps happening, and it's amazing how this is accelerating more and more and more with these shootings. And like I said, it comes down to several different factors. Like I said, no discipline at home. So these kids are running hog wild, doing whatever they want, acting in whatever way that they want to. And, it's just, you have that. They medicate these They medicate these kids now because the parents don't want to deal with them. I love it when they try to blame violent video games on why these kids are doing these type of stuff. That's ridiculous. You can blame a freaking game for somebody's behavior. Watch your children, pay attention to your children, discipline your children. And here, the biggest thing, and I'm going to tell you what, and this is one of my bones of contention with a lot of people, okay, with kids. So the kids act up. If you act like that again, this is what's going to happen. Kid does it. If you act up and keep doing that, this is what's going to happen. And they never follow through. That is my biggest pet peeve with parents, making threats and no follow through. The possibility of these shootings done by patsies is a probability. Yeah, JJ, absolutely. Well, like the one guy down in Texas that just went on that one rampage, and he had just lost his job earlier. And the best part was, I love when more stuff always comes out. He had just lost his job earlier, a couple hours earlier. So he was obviously distraught because he lost his job. But he had tried to purchase a gun legally, right? And what happened? He was denied because there was a judge that said the guy wasn't mentally stable and he shouldn't have a gun. But he got one anyway because, once again, criminals and people that want to get guns are going to get guns. They do not care about gun laws. It's just like with saying, well, convicted felons are not allowed to have guns. Well, when they arrest these people, you see it all the time. I mean, if anybody's ever watched Cops, tell me if I'm wrong on this or not, if I'm making this up. But they'll pull these guys over. They're a convicted felon, and they're carrying. You know what I mean? So, but they don't want you, the law-abiding average citizen, which makes up the majority of the people in this country, by the way. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. But Walmart did say that they will allow police officers to carry in their store. Oh, God bless you, Walmart. How thoughtful of you. You know what? Ridiculous. Every mass shooter in this country has been a registered Democrat. Wow. Okay, well, that doesn't surprise me either, to be honest with you. Realistically, it's just, this is a major, major game that's being played. And the average American citizen is being played like a chump. Through the media, through all the different, like Twitter, Snapchat, what's the other ones? Any kind of FaceTime stuff that they do. I'm going blank on it. But there's all those different sites out there. Instagram, okay, is another one. There's all these different sites where people are chatting, talking about this and that. And if they're pushing this stuff more and more and more, and what are these companies doing? Like Facebook and YouTube, and what are they doing? They're suppressing more conservative views. They don't want those views out there, and that happens a lot. and it's happening all the time. Instagram is Facebook, somebody just said. Well, I know, but it's a different platform of their thing. No Walmart, there goes my entertainment. Yeah, it can be entertaining. I tell you, the best time to go, to be honest with you, go about 10:30 at night and walk around and just kind of sit down and watch people. That's really entertaining, the type of people that walk in there at that time. This is what they want, a police state control. Exactly. John Sarbo just said that. You're right. And that's exactly what it would be. It would be a complete control. Do what you're told. Don't make any waves. Don't voice your disagreement with anything, or you will be squashed. And that's exactly where we're headed. And we're allowing it with open arms and going, here, take all our stuff. Take my stuff. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Walmart got painted orange here a few days ago. Sandy Pete, or who just said that? Oh, Crazy Prepper Nick said that. Yeah, it's nuts, guys. Guys, if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, if you would do so, I would appreciate that. So let's see. 1,000 standard Social Security payment. James Witt I don't know who was he saying that to, saying it to somebody else. What can we do to stop it? I'm going to tell you right now, good question, actually. Spike C just said that. The reality is they got that train rolling, and there's probably not a whole lot we're going to be able to do to stop it. I would advise people to get as much as you possibly can now while you can. Stock away, hide away. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. I've talked about that. Have 4 or 5 different places that you have weapons stashed, ammo stashed, magazines stashed, all those type of stuff. Okay. Resist. Realistically, that's the biggest thing that we can do is resist the tyranny. Don't just walk, because I'm going to tell you right now, as much as some people say, there's no way they're taking my guns, blah, 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 blah. But when the time comes, a lot of people, and not all, a lot of people will willingly walk in and hand in their weapon. They absolutely will do it, because if they know that if they get caught with that weapon, they're going to be charged and they're going to go to jail. That's what they're going to do. They're going to just turn them in. They're just going to give up. Okay. Now there are a lot of people that will not. Okay. That I will tell you too. But here's the thing, and I'm laughing. So somebody was talking about their, if 50 plus will turn it in. Jake R just said that. Yeah, probably. A lot of people would definitely turn their stuff in with no problem, and people would just do it because I don't want to say they're stupid, but they're scared is what they are. They're afraid of retribution or whatever, so it's how bad do you think SHTF will be? Kyle King just asked that. When it comes time when SHTF happens, I think it's going to be horrible, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be really, really bad, depending on what the event would be, okay? There's so many different scenarios of what that end time type of an event could be. But I'm going to give you one example. Let's say the lights go out, and this is an example I love to use for people because it really makes people think. If the lights went out tomorrow, and we're not going to come back on. Not ever coming back on again. I ask people, how ready are you for that? And that gives you a really, really good answer to how prepared people are, because most people are not. And so you would be looking, like I said, and I talked about this a little bit before, the scariest person in the world is not the big burly biker or ex-military guy or special forces guy. Those are not the scariest people in the world. And I'm going to tell you why. They have tended to be more disciplined, okay? The scariest person in the world in a post-event is going to be the desperate and scared person. People that are desperate and scared are going to do whatever they have to do. So I want you guys to think about that, okay? Don't be that person. Don't be desperate. Don't be scared. Just focus on what you got to do, taking care of your own business, and then you should be, give yourself whatever advantage that you can. There is no way that most people can prepare the way that you do, in the way that you recommend. Lynn Reed just said that. You know what? I get it. I mean, I'm an extremist with prepping, and I will admit it. I mean, I moved off grid. set up my own solar systems. I'm setting up my own thing here at my property to try to be as self-sufficient as I possibly can be. I realize that I am the exception rather than a rule, but anybody can prep, even on a small scale. And, like I said, you do it slowly. You don't have to do it overnight. Now, how much time do we have? I get that question a lot. I honestly do not know, to be honest with you. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen 10 years from now. I don't know. Do I think we got 10 years? No, I do not think we have 10 years. I absolutely do not. But, either there will be a major event, something will happen globally, there will be some kind of a pandemic, there could be a solar flare, there could be a cyber attack. I mean, there's so many possibilities of things going south in a hurry. But the thing is, you don't have to prep on the level that I'm prepping, guys. That's not what if you can, great, do it. Absolutely. I would highly recommend it. If you can prep on the level that I prep, I eat, breathe, and sleep it. I wake up in the morning, and when I go into a grocery store, if I go into any kind of hardware store, if I go into the Agway, if I go into Tractor Supply, whatever store that I'm walking into, prepping is on my mind. And I'm looking for things that I can add to my preps. And that's the way I live my life. And now, does it consume me? Is it all purposeful and all that? Absolutely not. I still live my life. I still enjoy my life. I spend really a tremendous amount of quality time with my kids. But you know what? The thing is, it's like, what I'm trying to teach you guys as far as the prepping aspect goes, if you work at things methodically, you set a goal for yourself, you write it down on paper, get yourself that notebook, okay? Get yourself the notebook, write it down. This month, this is what I want to do. And then make it happen, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, excuses are like a-holes. Everybody has one, okay? That's the reality. Everybody's got an excuse in the world of why they can't do something. And that's kind of why I call people out a little bit and said, even $5 a month or whatever as far as prepping goes, and but if you were doing something opposed to nothing, okay? Remember, here's an old saying, guys, okay? Wish in one hand and defecate in the other, and see which one fills up first. Wishing gets you nowhere. Action and doing things, that's what makes things happen. I can see us going in a direction with these gun controls that is not good, okay? And there will be people that will fight it. There absolutely will be, okay? Absolutely. There will be people that will stand there and stand their ground, and they'll try to take out whoever they have to try to take out. But guess what happens? Superior numbers are going to win the day every time. So that, to me, is a waste of a good patriot. It really is. If you can play possum and live to fight another day, that's the way to do it. Organize. Get together with like-minded people. Make groups. Get ready. Get ready the best way that you possibly can. I really, so Kay in Florida said, join the Gun Owners of America. All you're doing, Kay, when you do stuff like that, when you join Gun Owners of America, when you join the National Rifle Association or any other gun group, you're giving them a list of people to go and check out. That's all you're doing, realistically. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Yep, putting your name on a list, exactly. Kevin Scott just said the same thing. But, the reality is a lot of scary stuff going on in the world, around this country, and it's going to continue to get worse. The weather continues to have issues, and it's going to continue. The planet goes in cycles. We're in a different cycle right now. The new norm, if you will. And, and people are acting absolutely out of their minds. And there's no respect for people anymore. And that's a big part of it, too. Where's the manners? Think about this, guys. I want you to think about this. Younger people. How many younger people do you know that actually use their manners? Please, thank you, yes, sir, no, sir, hold the door for people, any of that type of stuff. It's rare now when people do it. How sad is that? And that should be the norm, to be honest with you. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, I would appreciate it that if you would do that. We got a lot more people jumping in here to the chat, so welcome everybody that's coming in here. And we're going to keep going because it actually we got a late start in this. So I'm not ending at 9 o'clock because we did get a late start on this because they bounced me off of here twice before we actually got this thing going. So, yeah, guys, you know what? Like I said, we just need to stay vigilant. We need to stay focused. Don't be distracted by all these different things going on, okay? Because that's what there are. They are distractions. Remember we talked about like the Wizard of Oz before? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You know, you want you to pay attention to this over here and not pay attention to what you should be paying attention to. Again, I highly, highly encourage people to prep. Get ready. Be ready. Food, water, medical, guns and ammo. Be as ready as you possibly can be, because when that day happens, and it's coming, okay, it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a real bad day for a lot of people. And we really need to focus, stay vigilant, stay sharp. We don't want to be that person that's going to panic in that situation when that time comes. You want to act. You don't want to react, okay? I know I'm repeating myself a lot when I say these things, but it's really, really important, and hopefully it sinks into some people that haven't heard it before. You know, just be smart. Be smart. Be as ready as you possibly can be. Still live your life. Still enjoy your life. Go to the movies. Take your wife out to dinner. Whatever you do for enjoyment, you know, still do those things, but prioritize. Priorities are not, getting your coffee from Starbucks. That's not a priority. The priority should be, how much food do I have, and how long can I make it last for my family, and also for other people? Do I have enough water on hand? Fresh drinking water. Do I have enough of that on hand? So these are all things that you really need to, pay attention to. But let's see. Don't let prepping scare you. You know what? That's great, Wolfgang. I love that. That's a great comment, and that's exactly right. Do not let prepping scare you. Do not be overwhelmed. Here's the problem with a lot of people. They're looking at prepping, and they want to start prepping, and they're brand new to prepping, and they don't know what to do or how to get started, okay? And it's overwhelming. It's so much, it scares the crap out of them, so they do nothing, because that's a natural, normal reaction for a lot of people. They do absolutely nothing. And so, like, I encourage people, get that 2 weeks worth of water and food right off the bat, get that going, and then just build from there. Continue to add to your food preps, but then look at also making sure, if you live in the Northeast, that you have enough warm clothes, ways to start fires, all those type of different things like that. It's really, really important. It really is. Oh, what's Choo Choo Rooter Bean just add? What's Heather's channel? Heather's channel is Hang Out with Heather. No spaces in between. So it's HANG Out with Heather. And that's her channel she's at college. So yeah, if you would like to show my daughter some love, please go over there and subscribe to her channel. She's posting she's going to try to do at least once or twice a week, talking about her college experience. And I've actually had people say to me, I can't believe that you let your daughter go off to college. Well, you know what? You have to continue to live life. You have to continue to support your children and with decisions that they make. And she wants to go to college, and this was her thing, and I'm going to absolutely support her for that. You know what I mean? And that's her choice. And so you can't, again, it's not living in fear. You cannot live in fear. So I can't sit up here in the hills and go, I'm waiting for the end of the world to come. I'm not going to live my life like that. When something happens, what do, guys? We don't react. We act. Why? Why do we act? Because we have a game plan in place. We're ready for whatever's coming. And that's the important thing to remember. Being prepared, being ready, it's very, very important. So, but this month is National Preparedness Month. Wolfgang just said that. Well, that's good. That's absolutely good. People definitely should be getting ready, guys. Definitely should be getting ready. Yes, somebody just put on there again, Blue Moon just said San Francisco just declared the NRA a domestic terrorist group trying to get states to do the same. Yeah, how ridiculous is that? That is like the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. So, guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate it. Citizen Soldier said we are on our own. But, realistically, citizen soldier, we are not on our own because we have all of each other. There's a lot of us out here, and not just in the United States, not just in Canada, all around the world. There's a lot of us out there preparing, getting ready, and not just the elites. The elites have everything that they need. They have underground bunkers. They have all that stuff in place. The rest of us need to continue to get as ready as we possibly can. And when something happens, we act. We're prepared. We're thinking clearly. We're not going to panic, and that's going to save your life. And I don't care, guys, if you're in the city, if you're in suburbia, or if you're out in the country and out in the boondocks, okay? If you have a game plan and you have your plan in place, you're going to be okay for the most part, because you're going to have that advantage over most people in this country or around the world. So that's something to remember. Rebecca Maxwell said, let them come. They're not getting my stuff. Well, then that's the thing, too. You better be ready to be prepared to defend yourself. That's what it's all about. That's the reality. You need to be prepared to defend yourself. So we really need to think about that. That's important. That's really, really important. So, all right, let's see. We're at 400 thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 500 thumbs up. We're 51 minutes into the chat, so we'll go a little bit over an hour. So let's see if we can get that up to 500 thumbs up, guys. I know you guys can do it. So, thought police are extra busy via the media. Oh, you're absolutely right. And you got Joe Biden down there, and he's going for the two things all at once. He's talking about gun control and talking about something that he has no idea about. You can tell he has no idea. And then he's talking about climate change, the big boogaboo. Ooh, the climate change, and it's our fault the climate's changing. I think that's kind of hysterical as well, to be honest with you. Like I said, the planet goes in cycles. It will continue to go in cycles, has done so for millions of years, and will do so for millions of years long after we're gone. It's going to get hot. It's going to get cold. There's going to be big storms, and there's going to be volcanoes that go off, and it's just going to continue to happen. So, oh, yeah, Joe Biden, they're calling him Sleepy Joe for a reason. Yeah, he's clueless. If he gets the nomination for the Democrats, you're going to see Trump win as a shoo-in. Trump will win in a landslide, because once it's him and Biden one-on-one, Joe can't keep his foot out of his mouth. Can't do it. Just can't. So we'll see what creepy Joe. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he's a little too touchy-feely for me, especially with young girls. I don't like that. All gun owners need to do a Hong Kong when they come. Yeah, you know what? I'm telling you what. Like I said, we've talked about what you need to do with your weapons. If you have weapons, don't keep them all in one place. Have them different places. Have them cached. Have some buried. If you can do that, do that. But don't, if they walk in, let them get maybe a shotgun and a 22. But the other stuff, make sure you got it well hidden, and just be smart. That's the big thing. And it's like, because not with the guys with this type of stuff going on, and then you throw in a combination of the red flag laws that are going on. It just went into effect here in New York. Okay, scary stuff. And they can come and they can take your weapons with zero due process, with no evidence that you are a danger to yourself or others, and just on hearsay. And that's some scary stuff. There are too many soft adult children in America for reaction like Hong Kong. Oh, yeah. No. Well, first of all, you won't see people get up and protest like that in America, basically because they're lazy, to be honest with you. And I'm an American, so I can say most Americans are lazy, okay? We're lazy, we're fat, we're complacent. As long as we have our beer, our drugs, and our television, or our sports, or whatever it is for our entertainment, we're good. We're not going to get up and do anything. We'll piss and moan and complain, but we won't do anything. We won't do anything. So Law and Order Prepper said registration equals confiscation. And I've said that absolutely. I've said the same exact thing. Register nothing, and then that way you don't have nothing as far as they're concerned. So, but yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So we have paved road and food on the shelves. Kyle King just said that. Well, if you want to call our roads paved, I could take you around here in New York and show you that they're not paved really well. That is for sure. All right, guys, we're 450 and a thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 500 here. Well, we just hit 451 now. So, but yeah, let's see if we can hit 500. So if you haven't shot me that thumbs up, please do so. Beer, football, and nookie will be our downfall. Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's you're right. Just keep us distracted, and they're just going to continue to take and take and take, and then one day you're going to wake up and go, hey, what happened? So, bongs and bimbos. Yeah, exactly. James White just said that. You're absolutely right. And, and there's a lot of good people out here, guys. There's a tremendous amount of good people out here. And so, I think that it's really, really important to remember that. I mean, when you turn on the TV and all you see every day is negative, 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 it gets disheartening. It really, truly does. But we got to remember there's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of people worth saving, okay? There really, really is. There's a lot of people that just need to go on down the road, don't get me wrong. But, but you just stay positive, and realize there are good people out there. There's people worth savings. And so it's absolutely, the world has gone crazy, and you got people that have an agenda. Remember that. With all this crap you're seeing in the media, there's absolutely a very biased agenda with all of it. There's very, very biased. It's about control. It's about taking away our rights. A disarmed society, all you're going to have then is a tyrannical government doing whatever they want to do. It has happened over and over and over again throughout history. Take away the guns, the government's in control, and then that's when the really bad stuff starts happening. So, Franny Pierce just said, I don't have TV. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I gave up my TVs when we moved out here. We started our 5th year up here in June. And I had 5 TVs in the house that I lived in Greece, New York, and I gave them all away. Because I knew I was not going to have internet. It was ridiculously high, and I just wasn't going to do it anymore. Or not internet, I mean cable TV. So all I have is internet, and that's all we need. We have Netflix, so the kids can watch whatever they want on Netflix. There's a ton of shows without the commercials, which is absolutely awesome. The commercials were so dumbing down, it was ridiculous. And actually, somebody just sent me some information, and they said the IQ in the United States is going down. And I said, that does not surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all that the IQ of the United States is going down, because, it's just gotten to a point of being ridiculous. It absolutely is completely and utterly ridiculous. So we got to ask at this point here, guys, because I always say we are Legion, because we are many. There's so many of us out here, a lot of us preppers out here. So because we are Legion, we are the ones that really truly can make a difference when that time comes, okay? We really can. And so by being prepared, it makes a big, big difference. I want to know where everybody's from tonight. We got a nice crowd in here right now. So let's look and see where everybody's from. We got Syracuse, New York, Utah, Southside Atlanta, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Oregon, Illinois, Southern Oregon, Carolina, Alaska, Oregon again, Washington State, Suffolk, New York. Oh my goodness, it's going way fast. New Zealand, Batavia, New York, Texas, Ohio, Waco, Texas, Western New York. Man, this is flying, guys. So I saw Taiwan in here. Ohio, we got Florida. We have, Arizona, Vancouver, Washington, Asheboro, Georgia. Canada, Virginia, Connecticut, Iowa, very cool. Montana, Minnesota, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Maryland. Hey, excellent, Puma. Thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. We got Missouri, Indiana. We got Taiwan, New Jersey, Florida, Washington State, Norway, San Antonio, Indiana, Wilmington, North Carolina. We got, Iowa, Dayton, Ohio, Scotland, very nice. Southwest Florida, Alabama, California, Northern California, I think is what he meant to say on that one. Arkansas, Alabama, Timmins, Ontario, Oregon Coast, Mississippi, Somebody from Haiti, very cool, very nice. Cleveland, Ohio, Florida. So yeah, you guys, we're all over the place, all over the place, and we really truly can make a difference. We really can, and I think that's really really important that people realize that. Okay, we are the ones, guys, the ones that are awake, and I think, like I said, I've said this before. We have been awoken for a reason. There's a reason that we are awake, and it's because we need to make a difference. And I really think we can when the time comes. And like I said, individual choice. If you want to help people after SHTF, you can. If you don't have to. I get it. Again, it's a very individual choice what you want to do or what you don't want to do. But I think that we have an opportunity to do good things and to help people. So I think if we can, we should. So anyway, guys, keep prepping. Don't get discouraged. Anybody that hasn't shot me that thumbs up yet, please do so. And I see we're at 511, so we did hit 500. That's very cool. So let's see how much higher we can jump this up here real quick. We're at 513 right now. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please do so. But again, guys, don't panic. I think that's the biggest thing I want to share with people is don't panic. Stay the course, stay steady, definitely continue to prep, get your ammunition. Hopefully you already have your weapons in place. Add to your ammunition. Again, my rule of thumb, and I recommend to anybody, would be a minimum of 2,000 rounds per weapon. So take that into consideration and prep accordingly. Just keep going at it, guys, okay? And again, if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notifications. I'm on here doing my live streams 3 days a week, okay? So I appreciate all of you. I really, truly do. I'm going to end this for now. Thank you, everybody, for being here for the chat tonight. I really, truly appreciate it. Great chat, great comments. Thank you to my moderators for being on top of stuff. I appreciate you guys for keeping the chat clean. I do appreciate that. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. That really is something that I want you to take home from this. We are in this together. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell them every single day how you feel. Also, remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you is you. Nobody else can stop you, okay? That's important to remember. Stay positive. Stay away from negative people, all right? Stay focused, guys. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.